Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pokemon Sapphire. At the ass crack of dawn. I'm a little manic. I slept from 1 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. yesterday. My sleep is completely out of whack. I've been making a concerted effort to try and get control of the situation now for a while. It's not going super well, but I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep trying to fix the sleep situation the best I can. Yeah, it is 6:34 a.m. for me. It's boy. You know, lately I've been feeling rushed when it comes to playing these games. I feel like we've fallen way behind. But that's okay. We've not fallen critically far behind. We're only a little far behind. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask while streaming. Not good bedfellows. But, should have popped my back before sitting down. Oh. Okay. Let's get into some battles today. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Wingo! No more. Oh, you're not gonna use water on me, are you? Screw you, Wingle. Stupid developers. They knew what they were doing, putting a water Pokemon trainer right after that fire cave. Electricity, bitch. Is Quick Attack ever really worth it, to be honest? Yeah, I don't think so. I have never effectively used Quick Attack in my life. That's a lie. How many hundreds of times have you guys seen me use Quick Attack? I'm a little tired. I'm a little loopy. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I tried my damnedest to go to sleep yesterday. I laid down multiple times and just laid there and laid there. I took 2 melatonin pills. They did nothing. A couple hours later, I took 2 Benadryl. That did nothing. I don't know how I went from like sleeping 10 plus hours a day to just not being able to sleep at all. I definitely think that the long-term exposure to the medication that I was on might have done some damage there. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll see in the long run. Now I gotta go back in and heal Numal all over again. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Okay, here we go. We'll probably run into some Steelix, some Spinda. Oh, Game Freak really butchered Spinda, let me tell you. I can't send Spinda over to home from Go. I can't send the Spinda from Brilliant Diamond over to home. I can't send any Pokemon, any Spinda that I get off the GTS from past games over to Brilliant Diamond or any of the new games. They screwed up. Oh, for Pete's sake. Not my bald head. She's got this itch that won't stop. I'm not necessarily ashamed of my bald head, but I don't like looking at it. I don't like it. There you go, Numi. I don't think we have any good TMs either. Nothing that's really worth, you know, teaching the Newell. Uproar does way more damage than you would think it would though, you know. Oh, like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, yeah, lately I've been feeling like we've fallen really far behind on the content. You know, 2023 was a really slow year for me. I was cranking out content at the slowest pace that I've ever done. I was sleeping all the time, overeating like crazy. It was like being in a coma. It was awful. It was, God, it was terrible. The difference is night and day now. Like, I feel awake. I feel conscious. You know, I feel like I exist. And, but I was on Twitch last night looking around, seeing if I could find some new people to watch. I'm getting kind of tired of the usual lineup of streamers that I have, you know. I wanted to try out some new people. And I came across somebody playing Pokemon. I think they were playing Pokemon Black and White. I don't know if it was Black and White 2, but it was the Unova region. And he had his face cam down here in the corner. Then he had his playthrough. Then he had his friend's playthrough up here. So he and his friend were playing together at the same time. His friend didn't have a face cam, but his voice was on the stream. and they were doing some sort of like Nuzlocke randomizer thing. And I got to thinking, you know, the majority of people who are going to watch something Pokemon related this day and age, they're not going to watch a vanilla playthrough like the one we're doing here. They want to watch something special, something that's quote unquote custom. You know what I mean? Something that has more stakes to it, because everybody's played these games 1,000 times. So they're not really likely to tune in and watch you just play the base game. And unfortunately, that's what I want to do. I want to get caught up and play through each one of the base games. It's honestly one of the reasons that I scrapped all of the old Pokemon episodes that I did, because I played through all the Pokemon games on the channel already. Been there, done that. You know, I felt like we rushed through them too. So I thought in my head, well, let me go back, let me replay them, and let me visit every area in the game. Let me visit every nook and cranny. Let me find every trainer, complete the Pokedex, find everything. And now I feel like I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm feeling rushed again to just get through these games. We did Leaf Green, and I ended up catching so many of the Pokemon off screen and doing it in my own personal time, you know. And then I ported them all over to Soul Silver without thinking that I needed to port them here first to finish the Pokedex in Sapphire. So I've already screwed up. Oh, you butthole. They really do not want me raising Numel. They are trying their damnedest to stop me from raising Numel. Well, not gonna happen. But my problem is, I don't stream long enough. I sit down here at my desk for an hour at a time, and by the time the hour's up, I'm so exhausted because of my terrible sleep habits. I can't do a 3, 4, 5 hour stream. I don't have it in me. So that's something that we need to work on. That's something we got to fix. Coffee. I don't know. These coughing, I'm telling you. I was going to say, maybe we chose... Well, maybe we decided a little hastily to give up on that quick attack. That did not do a lot of damage, but at least he can't poison us. Oh my God! Alright, see here, coughing. Maybe a little wing attack will teach you a lesson. Yeah, I thought that would do a lot of damage. I want these coughing out of my face. I hate this kid. Now I've got to go back and heal because of your dumbass. No, not electric. Lord help. The back and forth, the back and forth, the back and forth. We need the other bike for that. I guess we should catch a Spinda while we're here. While we're here. I just don't understand why Uproar does so much damage, you know? We probably should have chosen Electrike for this. That way we could paralyze it while trying to catch it. Would have made more sense if I had done that. No two Spinda are said to have identical spot patterns on their hides. This Pokemon moves in a curious manner, as if it is stumbling in dizziness. Its lurching movements can cause the opponent to become confused. Spinda was extremely impressive for the tech at the time. Whatever algorithm they used, I think there are literally billions of patterns for Spinda. And they've carried that through every game Spinda's been a part of. But I think they, to my understanding, and I have a layperson's understanding at best, they switched it, or it got flipped, or something, they did something wrong for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and the algorithm is either flipped on its head or not the same, so the game can't handle the algorithm used for the old Spinda in the old games, is my understanding. I'm sure a quick Google, you know, you could get to the bottom of it and get the nitty gritty on exactly what the deal is, but I'm still waiting on them to fix it. Because I have my living dex in Pokemon Home and I don't have a Spinda in there. Like, a criteria for my living dex is that every Pokemon in there has to be captured by me on my own save file. And I just don't have Spinda yet. It's stuck in Brilliant Diamond. Alright, I think it's about time to level up this Shroomish and evolve. I want to say Shroomish evolves at level 20. If it's not 20, it's 24. It's one of those two. Alright, time to Mega Drain this sucker. This has been a slow battle. Worth it, though. Alright, do you evolve at 20? No, you do not. Damn, I guess it is 24 then. Okay. Yee. I never understood why she asked twice. She'll just keep asking you indefinitely. No idea why they programmed it that way. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. Hey, that one looks like he has a goatee. No, I'm tired of fighting. Ah! Why? I hate you. Okay, 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 okay. All right. Eat it. Two steps. Just because I know you're not going to let me escape. If I try to run, and I'm not going back to that old lady's house to heal. We've already run back and forth like 5 times in this episode alone. No. Anybody else want to try me? Or try Swallow, I should say. Okay. At least I had the presence of mind to buy these potions before we decided to head out on a really long route. Sugimori! Sugimori, my dear. Damn it. There we go. We still have all the soda too from the soda shop. So, what parasol? You're not holding a parasol. Oh, now you are. Maline. Oh, we'll be here all day with 2 Numal fighting one another. We'll just switch out and make it quick. But like I was saying 20 minutes ago, yeah, I get the feeling people aren't that interested in vanilla playthroughs of the old Pokemon games, so we're just gonna shoot through each one and be done with it. Because I've done 2 Nuzlockes already, but they ended up being patron-only streams. So I've got to sit down and figure out how I want to handle Pokemon streams on my channel going forward, because there's a lot of challenges and a lot of ROM hacks. There's just so much to do in the Pokemon world. And since we're a variety streamer, or at least a variety gamer, or variety game streamer, I don't know the terminology these young people use. All I know is we play a wide variety of games. We're not just doing Pokemon. So I have to, you know, be very selective when it comes to how I handle doing the Pokemon stuff on my channel. The good thing is, like everything in reality, in this world of ours, everything is finite. So once we play through the Pokemon games, we're done. Then we'll have to start looking to challenges and things like that. Or I may just ease off of Pokemon altogether. Because I go through these intense moments with Pokemon. I'll be into it really hardcore for a month or two, and then another 3 or 4 months I don't hardly ever, it's not hardly part of my life. I don't play it or anything. And it's been that way for a while. The continued release back to back to back to back has kept my interest. But by the time we got to X and Y, my interest did kind of start slowing a bit. And I think I had the least amount of interest in Pokemon during the Sun and Moon era. And then Pokemon Go came out, and I became interested, you know, with Pokemon again. And it kind of renewed my love for the franchise. And that lasted a few years. Then more recently, like within the last 2.5, 3 years, Niantic has ran Pokemon Go completely into the ground and just destroyed any goodwill with the player base that they could, you know, it's awful. Everything in Pokemon Go now is paid. Every bit of research, every event, everything they do is paid. I was looking at the unreleased move, or the unreleased Pokemon pool. There are so many Pokemon that are not in Pokemon Go. And I'm not even talking about Pokemon like from Scarlet and Violet. I'm talking as far back as Black and White. From the Unova region, from the Kalos region. Just a ton of Pokemon withheld. And I thought that, and then like yesterday on Twitter I saw that they're doing like a Groudon and Kyogre raid event this month, and I was like, oh, here we go. So what we're going to do, because we're finished with Scarlet and Violet, there are only 2 more streams left to do, and that's the Blastoise event and the Charizard event. Then we're done. As far as I know, we're done with those games forever. And then we have Legends A to Z coming out next year, where we go back to the Kalos region. But it is another Legends game. So I don't know what to expect. I loved Legends Arceus, don't get me wrong. I thought that game was fantastic. But this is kind of new territory, and I don't really know where the future is going to take us as far as this franchise is concerned. Which again is one of the reasons we find ourselves way back here in 2002. playing a game, playing good old Sapphire from 2002. I thank you. Yeah, the older games hold up. You wouldn't think they would, but they do. They really do. I wasn't sure if I should play Sapphire or Emerald, but I decided on Sapphire because Sapphire is my birthstone, September. But yeah, I don't know. I am still on a mission to play a wide variety of games. I definitely don't want to paint myself in a corner with Pokemon, which I've done several times before on my channel. I've always played the blue games over the red. I'm on the blue side. Alright, Nankata. There we go. I just keep letting Numal faint. I don't mean to, it just keeps happening. Oh, I'm sad now. Stupid little ninja kid. There we go. Now we can heal. Heal. Bum, 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 bum. The Switch just turned, I mentioned this in yesterday's stream. The Switch just turned 7 years old a couple of days ago. I don't know what I just said, but I meant to say the Switch turned 7 years old a few days ago. To be honest with you. I haven't been to bed yet, so I'm just a smidge loopy. Oh god, I hate the raids. Oh, the raids are so awful, I hate them. The raids piss me off because, number one, I'm a moron. I don't do well with metagaming. And those terror raid battles, like, you have to know the metagame. You have to know exactly which Pokemon to use. You have to pray to the RNG gods that the people you're playing with online are not incompetent, and it's really, they're really hard. Like, I thought that the raids in Sword and Shield were dumb. Oh ho ho! Had I only known how terrible the raids in Scarlet and Violet were gonna be. Woo! I didn't know how spoiled we were. Same for Pokemon Go. I don't mind the raids in Pokemon Go because they're doable. That's one of the things that makes the raids so hard is the Terra type stuff. Like the Venusaur, you're like, okay, well, Venusaur is poison and grass. Let me just take something like, my first thought was, I'm going to take Articuno because Articuno is flying. So Venusaur can't use Earthquake, and it's Ice type, so it's gonna blow. It's gonna, you know, really do damage to a ground and grass type. No, my Articuno got blasted. My poor little Articuno got blasted into oblivion. It turns out you're supposed to use Chestnut again. So that brings me back to what I was saying. Game Freak intends for you to use one specific Pokemon. That's it. Each raid is designed for you just to use one specific Pokemon. And without Google, how in the hell would you know who to use? And that's my beef with the raids in Scarlet and Violet. I hate them. What I'll do is I'll just lay on the couch over here and I'll just hold my Switch in my hand. And I'll watch something on YouTube, and I'll let the other 3 people do the raid for me. Does that make me a dick? Yeah. But I also am not the dicks who programmed it to be impossible to begin with. And the only reason I knew to use Chestnut was because somebody came in my chat and said, hey, I had luck using Chestnut, because when I Googled it, Google was telling me to use, who did Google tell me to use? I don't remember. I streamed it. So it's up on my YouTube channel. But I Googled who to use for the raid, and it gave me the wrong Pokemon to use, because I got chewed up and spit out like immediately. It was awful. It was embarrassing. Oh, it was embarrassing. But, but yeah, I find comfort in these older games. Less is more. I guess you could say. Like, playing these older games doesn't make me feel panicked. You know, it doesn't make me feel quite as dumb. Also, on a side note, do you ever use these X special speed, attack, defense, etc.? I don't use these, and I don't know a single person who does. Use them sometimes. I've never used them before. Ooh, it's a sketch guy. And I don't know if I should do the contest stuff or not. I want to. I've never fooled with the EV training and the IV stuff. I actually used to fight with my friends over that kind of stuff because around the time post Black and White and Black and White 2, so let's say from Black and White all the way up through X and Y and Alpha Sapphire, I had a certain group of friends. And when I played Pokemon with that group of friends, they were the kind of people who would sit for hours at a time and breed just egg after 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 egg until they got the perfect Pokemon with the perfect ability, perfect 6 IVs, and all that shit. And then here's me traveling the countryside. Oh, look, a Pikachu. I'm gonna catch it. I catch my little Pikachu. I play my little game, I evolve it into a Raichu, and then my friends are like, oh, let's battle. Yeah, that'll be fun. So here I am with my little Raichu. He's level 100. His IVs and EVs, his EVs are maxed out because, you know, I've been grinding with him. I send out the Raichu, and they'll send out something like, I don't know, Blastoise. I'll use a Thunder. It will take off a hair of that Blastoise's health because of all the bullshit meta mechanics in the game. They'll have the right hold item, the right berry, the right moves, and my poor little Raichu will get obliterated. And it just sucks all the fun out of it. I hated those people. I'm not friends with any of them anymore. Like, not over Pokemon, for other reasons. Mainly they all moved away. But yeah, I found that to be really annoying. Like, and it's not even it's not even necessarily their fault. Like, for all the bitching I'm doing, they're just playing the game. Let me make that clear. They didn't technically do anything wrong. It's a mismatch of intentions. Like, I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I don't have I am lazy. I have ADHD. I have all that shit. I'm on the spectrum, kinda. I don't want to EV and IV grind Pokemon. I just want to catch it, raise it, battle it. But I can't do that because they're in their infinite wisdom. They thought, let's add old items. Let's add abilities. Let's add EVs and IVs. Yeah, see, I couldn't play online. I'd lose every time without fail, you know, and like I said, I'm self-aware. It's my fault for not putting in the work and the time to learn it. It's too much work. I'm not that interested in Pokemon to that degree, you know what I mean? But this was not a problem. I'll be honest with you, if I can be a little open here, this was not a problem that stopped with Pokemon. This was a problem we also had with Monster Hunter, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. These people, they acted like the fate of the entire planet rested on their ability to win a game. So when we played Smash Brothers, they would never turn on items. We were not allowed to do teams. It was just, it had to be Dragon Ball Z or nothing. When it came to Monster Hunter, we'd all get together at my house, and we were doing Monster Hunter on the 3DS back then. So I'd be sitting there, I'd be readied up, I'd have all my healing items and all my stuff ready to go. I eat my meal for my buffs. I've got on the armor suit that I've made. I've done everything I'm supposed to do in Monster Hunter. And I'm just sitting there waiting on the rest of my friends in real time. And they're just sitting there taking 2 hours to prepare armor, get the right jewel to put in the armor. They've got to go change their weapons. And oh, I was slowly losing the will to live. Every time we wanted to hunt a monster, it was like it took them an hour to prep. It's just a fucking video game. I just wanted to go out into the field and hunt the monsters. It was eternally frustrating to wait on my friends to spend 30 to 45 minutes, you know. These people would say, okay, well, this monster is weak to this. And the whole time they would have their phones in their hand, like Googling. They'd have charts pulled up, full-on, full-ass charts of what was weak to what. And like, oh, it was so grinding on me. I hated it. Oh my God, I hated it. Oh, I shouldn't have sent you out. You're not going to do anything. You can't. Barboach is not... Yeah, that was a poor choice. Shroomish is a good choice, though. I'm a casual person. I'm a casual gamer. You know, it reminds me of that episode of South Park. I know most people don't watch South Park anymore, but they did an episode a season or two ago where the boys started a tabletop club at the school. So they were playing all these tabletop games like Settlers of Catan and stuff like that, you know. The girls wanted to join, and the boys, you know, being grade school boys, ooh, girls, icky, no. They didn't want the girls to join. It turns out the girls were so much better at the game than the boys. It was great. So when I try to explain my history of playing games with the friend group that I had, I try to point people to that episode and say, like that. It was just like that. My friends, it wasn't enough to play the game. They meted everything that they did, and I hated it. And this even spilled over into the Pokemon trading card game too. As the friend group started to slowly dissolve, as people moved away, the 2 or 3 of us that were left got into the Pokemon trading card game, and we'd keep running to Walmart or wherever, and we kept buying booster packs and running back to my house, and we were actually taking the time to play the game, not just collect the cards, and that did not end well. Again, it was one of those things where it was a constant game of being on your phone, trying to look up, is this card still usable in tournaments? What does it mean when this card says this and this card says that? I don't know if it's because we're dumb, but some of the wording on the Pokemon cards was really iffy and hard to understand. And this would have been around the time that the X and Y set came out. And I thought to myself, like, because we got into fights and arguments trying to interpret what the card was saying. And that didn't end well either, so. Flash forward 7 years later, and here I sit on Twitch. No friends to play anything with whatsoever. I play everything by myself. And I have no viewers because I'm not doing a Nuzlocke or something interesting. I'm just doing a base playthrough of the game, and people aren't here to watch that. They're like, this is a game from 2002. Unless I'm doing something special with it, people aren't really going to flock to watch it. But I am on a journey to play them all. We've played Blue and Crystal. We shot through Leaf Green. We're in the middle of Soul Silver, and now we're playing Sapphire. Who is this old guy playing this game? Exactly. Barboach. You skipped it. I'm sure without a doubt it's gonna be a good game. Like we've only seen a teaser for it. We've seen no actual gameplay footage, but I have no reason to believe it's gonna be a bad game. Scarlet and Violet were not bad games. They were just terribly ugly because the Switch is horribly outdated. I felt that the land it didn't have enough stuff in it. Like, if you sit down and play Legends Arceus and then you jump straight over to Scarlet and Violet, the difference is night and day. Like, when you're playing Legends Arceus, it feels like a real environment. It feels like you're running around in a place that really exists. When I run around the Paldea region, it feels so phony. It's not good. It's not great. But yeah, that's another problem. Just release after release after release after release after release. It's too much. And everybody hated Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl because of the chibi characters and graphics. I didn't. I thought it was cute. Of course, I loved Wind Waker to death. I have no problem when they try to do something artistic like that. I thought it was cute. I liked it. My big complaint with the remakes for Diamond and Pearl is that there was no additional content. I shot through those games in like a week or two, completed the Pokédex like that, and I felt like I wasted money. I honestly probably wouldn't have bought them if it weren't for the lockout of the national decks. See, I think that's where they get you. I think that was their plan the whole time. They were like, well, if we don't give them a national dex for Sword and Shield, they will have to buy every subsequent game on the Switch just to finish the Pokédex. And I am convinced to this day that that was their logic. Because like I said, if it were not for me working on a living dex at the moment in Pokemon Home, I would not have bought Diamond and Pearl. There just was nothing new, no reason to play through it. The girlfriend Cynthia. Yeah, pretty much. After you beat Cynthia, you're like, well, I'm going to put this game down now and find something else to do. I do hope with Legends AZ that they don't screw up the Pokédex like they did with Legends Arceus. I was not a fan of that Pokédex. Like, remember, it wasn't enough just to catch Pikachu. You had to do tasks to get its dex entry. How many times have you caught one? How many times have you seen it use Thunderbolt? How many have you evolved? I wasn't a fan of that either. I hated that. That was some bullshit. That is not how the Pokédex works. I still haven't finished it. I didn't finish the Pokédex in that game. Not for a lack of trying. I tried multiple times. Like, I put it down for a few months, and then a few months later I'll come back and say, okay, let me give it another shot. Let me try again. It's just too hard. It's too time consuming for too little reward. You don't get anything for it. I don't know. Oh crap, what am I doing? I should switch out. Yeah, and then there's the whole debacle over the Switch emulator and the 3DS emulator, and Nintendo having a stick up their litigious ass. Yeah, again, I feel like that's one of those things where it's the Switch. Like, they're limited on what they can do with the Switch. I feel like on the Switch's successor, it probably, you might not have to load from area to area. It all depends. It depends on what kind of tech they put in the Switch's successor. Which I do plan to buy. I want to get whatever comes next. I always buy the latest Nintendo console. It's just, I haven't forgotten the wrong they've done me during the Switch era. The Switch Online is an absolute joke. They took the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo 64 and they hid it behind a paywall that's behind a paywall. Double paywall that bitch. Then there's just no games. There's no games in the regular Nintendo. There's no games in the Super Nintendo. We got ROMs and emulators, and those are free. And here's the thing too, I'll be 40 this year. I'm about to be 40 years old. I've been playing video games since the 1980s. How many times in my life am I expected to purchase the same games over and over and over again? You know how many times I bought Mario 64 in my life? At least 4 or 5. I don't know. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions about that in the last week. Since the news came out that Nintendo was suing the emulation people. I've seen people on Nintendo's side. I've seen people on the emulation guy's side. I just have a hard time believing Nintendo's claims. Nintendo said that Tears of the Kingdom suffered because it ended up being pirated and released early on the internet before it was released retail. And they said that hurt their sales. No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. Did it hurt their sales on a technical level? Yeah. I'm sure that X amount of people probably got it for free without paying for it. But not enough people for it to matter. It's the Wii all over again. Do you remember when they would not discount their games? Mario Kart Wii, Mario Party, Smash Brothers Brawl, all those games stayed $50, $60 for years after their initial release. They stayed $50 or $60 until they went out of print. I love you, Nintendo, but you are the epitome of corporate greed, and that pisses me off. I already am not a fan of capitalism to begin with, and when you go that hard with intellectual properties that we grew up with that mean something to us, we're gonna come at you with razor blades and lemon juice if you don't watch yourself. Let's do Metal Claw. Yeah. I think I don't see, the thing that confuses me and makes me wish that I was a fly on the wall is because I don't know how self-aware they are. The Switch would not have been as successful as it was if it were not for COVID. So many people revisited their childhood and it's like, oh, I'm going to get a Switch and play Mario and Mario Kart like we used to do when we were kids. A lot of people went through a lot of emotional trauma during lockdown. And Animal Crossing came out at just the perfect time. Perfect time. And it was an overnight runaway success. It would not have been if it were not for lockdown. You would have had your usual Animal Crossing fans buy it, and that is it. You got lucky. And I don't know if Nintendo is self-aware enough to know that, or if they're living in a delusional world. Because the old men that are still running these companies, they still think it's the 1980s. Like, I truly think that that's what's hurting Nintendo, is I think a lot of the people in charge with Nintendo are old men who think it's 1985. Lower the price of the Joy-Cons. Yeah. It's not even just a Joy-Con issue. I've always, as far back as the Nintendo 64 era, I remember going into a Kmart or a Walmart or something and seeing a 64 controller, and the damn controller would be the price of a full game, and I'm like, you greedy son of a bitch. You just being greedy at this point. That's a good point too. Nintendo, like Disney and a whole bunch of other companies, they think that their fan base is only children. If anything, you've got that flipped. If anything, you've got more Disney adults and Nintendo adults than you do have children. My nephew is 12 years old. He has a phone or a tablet in his hand almost at all times. He couldn't give two shits about sitting down and playing a game like we do. We are a dying breed, Nintendo. But I don't think anything's going to change. Games are about to go up to $70. That'll be the industry standard. They won't raise our pay any. No, that's asking too much. But food costs an astronomical price right now. Rent, utilities, no universal health care. Like, we're drowning out here, and they want to jack up the price of games to $70. And then they want to whine about people using emulators. Nintendo, let's have a chat. You keep giving me games like Scarlet and Violet, and I'm gonna stop paying. I'm sorry. Yeah, a voice chat. Where's voice chat? I think Nintendo's scared that it'll make them liable when predators go after children and stuff like that. That's why they got rid of the flip note and everything on the 3DS. But like, put some fine print on the packaging that absolves you legally, like toys do. This toy contains small parts, choking hazards for children under 3. Put that shit on your Switch games. You know, this game contains voice chat, not to be played without adult supervision to people under the age of whatever. That absolves you legally, you know? Oh yeah, you know what? I completely forgot that Switch app even exists. You're absolutely right. Why does it need to be an app? Why is it not built in? The Wii U gamepad had a camera. The 3DS had a camera. They took the camera completely away from the Switch. The Switch doesn't have a camera at all. Why is that? Oh, I can't be switched out. Well, this isn't going to end well for Numal. Dang it. I do want to catch this survivor, though. Alright, let me just paralyze you. I'm scared to attack it. I know it's gonna faint. Themes on my Switch. Oh yeah. We have so many choices to choose from. There's black, and there's white, and... yeah. It is, I'll tell you this. You want to know something that is nice at the end of the day? It's nice that I can sit here and opine on my very own Twitch and YouTube channel where I can moderate comments and trolls, because anytime that I say something on Twitter, Twitter is just a hellscape. Twitter is like one of the worst places on earth you can go. You can't say shit. I'll give you an example. You know Joe Merrick or whatever the hell his name is, the guy that runs and operates and owns Cerebi.net. I follow both Cerebi on Twitter and I follow Joe's personal account on Twitter. Well, the other day, when that Pokemon Direct or Pokemon Presents aired at like 8:30 in the morning our time, I had some negative shit to say about it on Twitter, and I posted it I posted it in the comment section of one of his 2 accounts. Well, he got all butthurt. He was like, because my complaint was, I said, where's the Unova remake? Where are the Virtual Console titles? Why do you keep ignoring the Switch Online? And Joe commented on my comment, said, you mean where's all the stuff that they never promised? And then his lemmings, of course, came to his defense and jumped on me. So for like 2 or 3 days after that, I just had this wall of people like giving me shit for that comment on Twitter. What's this hypocrite do a week later? He posts something. He posted something that was Pokemon related and he bitched about it. Rules for thee, but not for me when it comes to Joe from Cerebi, I guess. He and his lemmings are allowed to complain and give their opinion on the Pokemon Company, but I'm not allowed to say that that Direct sucked. Okay. Okay. All right. And that's not the first time that's happened. That happens to me quite regularly. So I've gotten to the point where, for the most part, with my social media accounts, I just try to post news about my content creation stuff. I try to really limit my opinions on things. I really try to stick to just posting facts, because I don't want to fight on Twitter. Survivor Swordlight Tail serves 2 purposes. It slashes foes and douses them with secreted poison. This Pokemon will not give up its long-running blood feud with Zangoose. Yeah, it really bothered me, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, because up until that moment, like, I had always thought a little highly of him. You know, he's run Cerebi for so many years. He's, you know, he's always been a good source of information, like a credible source of information. I've never really seen him do or say anything really that was morally dubious, you know. He's just a dude that likes Pokemon. I was just so taken aback over the whole thing, like, you know, that Direct sucked ass. Is that technically my opinion? Yes. But you know what's funny? It was also the majority's opinion. It was a 13-minute Direct where they talked about several Pokemon games that nobody's playing right now. First of all, Niantic has run Pokemon Go into the ground. Nobody's playing it. Nobody's playing Pokemon Sleep. Nobody's playing Pokemon Cafe. The anime has ended. Nobody gives a shit about the new cartoons. Nobody gives a shit about Pokemon Concierge. Nobody cares about any of the new era Pokemon stuff. I'm sure it's fine material. I'm not shitting on the material itself. I'm saying my personal observations based on people on the internet. There's not as much interest in Pokemon as there was just a few years ago. I'm saying interest is dwindling as the IP is being mishandled and run into the ground. That is a fact. That is not just my opinion. You can spend the time looking this stuff up. That's the great thing about living in the future, is that everybody has one of these in their pocket almost at all times. And if you think I'm full of shit, all you got to do is pull it out of your pocket. It takes 2 seconds to prove me wrong. Another survivor. Because all that game sales and stuff, that shit gets posted. As a matter of fact, Joe from Cerebi will post that. Like, you can go to his Twitter and he will post franchise. He has posted multiple times the franchise total sales over its lifetime since 1995. And it'll show which games out of the franchise have sold the most and the least and whatnot. So that is public information. It's not just my opinion. But the problem with people is that they get emotionally attached to things. And if you say something they don't like, instead of trying to think critically about it, they attack. It's how we had an orange jackass or a president for 4 years. People aren't taught how to think critically. It's not a thing we're teaching kids. Oh, we used to make fun of Call of Duty so bad. Like, it was like a new Call of Duty it wasn't even 12 months, was it? I don't even think it was 12 months in between releases, Call of Duty. Ooh. Like, that was the most shameful money grab I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna switch out. Oh, it's Marstomp, it's poison. Do I have anything for that? Yes, I do. Swallow and swallow. Tomato, tomato, honestly. Ooh. Pokemaniac Steve. Oh, we finally learned okay, cool. Magnitude. I am up way too early. I haven't been to bed yet. I've been up all night. So after the stream, I'm probably going to lay down and try to get a few hours. I'm going to come back this evening and stream some more Metroid Federation Force. That's the current game we're working on. This has kind of been an impromptu stream this morning because I wanted to have a backup episode to go up on YouTube in case I don't get to stream tomorrow. Or stream this evening, I mean. Yeah, I wish we could have got Aeron and Scarlet too. That would have been nice. Like I said, I honestly can't think of a good reason for them to take away the national dex other than it being a money-making thing. Like, because I remember let's see, what came immediately after? All right, you had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. That gave you the original 151. What you couldn't get from those games, you could get from Pokemon Go. So like, I played Let's Go Pikachu, which means I couldn't catch a Meowth in the wild. I had to either get a Meowth off of Let's Go Eevee, which I didn't have. I didn't have that game, I had the Pikachu one. So you had to port one over from Pokemon Go. Then after Sword and Shield came Legends Arceus, I guess. And then that was immediately followed by Diamond and Pearl. But even if you combine all three of those games, or all four of those, you still can't catch them all. You still needed to buy Scarlet and Violet. That added a lot of pages to your living decks, but guess what? You still couldn't catch them all. Out of the original 493, if you're trying to catch all 1,025 Pokemon currently in existence, and you only want to do so with the Switch without porting anything back, Celebi and Deoxys are missing. They have not been released officially in any capacity, or at least they're not catchable in any capacity in the Switch era. Then there's the problem with Spinda. They fucked up the algorithm that decides Spinda's spots. So Spinda cannot be sent from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl into Pokemon Home. Oops. Then from there, I'm missing Pampor, Pansage, and all of them. I'm missing Patrat and Watchhog. I'm missing a handful of Unova Pokemon. And everybody thought, well, that means there's going to be a black and white remake because we're missing a ton of Unova Pokemon. But we got that very shitty direct that everybody told me I was wrong to say was shitty. It's a shit show. I am hoping with Legends AZ that really closes the gap. Because if it doesn't close the gap, your boy is going to be quite livid. And Masuda's going to get a very strongly worded hate tweet that's probably going to get me banned. It'll be my Smash Brothers ultimate rant all over again. You gave us 47 Fire Emblem characters and Sora doesn't even make sense. Why is Sora in Smash? He doesn't belong. And who the hell thought Sephiroth and Cloud belong? They're not even on Nintendo systems. What the hell were you thinking? It'll be that argument all over again, but with Pokemon. And I will get so eviscerated on Twitter for that. You poisoned me again. Oh, I do have one antidote. Yeah, it's the same. If you scroll down to the bottom of Twitch, there's a link down there. Like, I think it's a Metroid or something. You just click that, it'll take you over to the YouTube. Oh God. I hope it bridges the gap. Oh, the rage that you will see coming. Although I am trying to rage less on the internet these days. Like, I've been told that I need to not do that. So I'm trying not to. We finally have magnitude. I can do this. You know, and it's funny because here's the thing. At the end of the day, the only reason that we're so anal about all of this, and the only real reason that we're bitching like this and being mad, is because we care. I mean, let's be honest. We grew up with all of these companies and these franchises, and we care. And when we see it being handled the way that it's being handled, we're going to complain. We're going to be passionate. And we're going to be critical with our opinions. Because we know that they can do better. And we expect them to do better. You know? Like when I complain about the Pokemon Company or Niantic, I'm not doing so because I like the sound of my own voice or because I'm just perpetually mad. I do so because it's unacceptable. It reminds me, I don't know, I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I used to watch, I don't really watch gaming stuff anymore on YouTube, but I used to watch Game Grumps a lot. I didn't really watch a lot of the Game Grumps adjacent people like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier. I knew they existed, I had seen some of their stuff. But a buddy of mine used to like to sit and watch Game Grumps with me. It was just something we did together. We had a good time with it. And at first I didn't mind Game Grumps, but after I spent like 4 or 5 years watching it, I started to really like Dan more and Aaron less. It got to the point where Aaron, I couldn't stand him. He seems extremely narcissistic. And he seems like he might be tight with money. But I could forgive those character flaws because we all have character flaws. The thing that killed it for me was the non-stop, relentless hate for Sonic the Hedgehog. And you're allowed to hate whatever you want. You're allowed to bitch about it on whatever public platform you choose. What was grinding my gears at the end of the day was the fact that Aaron was doing all these Sonic playthroughs and making a ton of money off of it while constantly just dragging Sonic Team, Sega through the mud. You know? And it wasn't like, oh, I'm shitting on Sonic 06, ha ha ha, how novel. No, he was shitting on Sonic games as they were coming out. So he was shitting on old Sonic, modern Sonic, middle-aged Sonic, like the Adventure series. And then he was starting to get too close to Sonic in real life. He was invited to Sega's headquarters in Japan, and he was slowly but surely becoming like this ambassador for Sonic's brand on social media and on YouTube. I went to Twitter and I told his ass off, and he blocked me. He blocked me. And then shortly after, a lot of other people started to wake up and see what was happening. So a lot of people were spamming Sega, telling them, hey, this jackass is really running Sonic's name through the mud, and you're in bed with him. Shortly after, they kicked Aaron to the curb, and they found a new content creator. And I don't remember her name, and I feel so bad for not remembering her name. But she became the brand ambassador after that. And then Aaron got on Game Grumps and he was bitching about it like, oh, I still could have been doing this and this with Sega if people hadn't have been so butthurt. Yeah, we were butthurt because you're a jackass. There's a difference between me sitting here for an hour and 25 minutes bitching about the Pokemon Company and all the shit they're doing wrong, because I'm not making any money off of this, and they don't know I exist. And I don't have an audience. That's 3 big points right there. You, on the other hand, are a multimillionaire. You've had huge success online. You have millions of followers, both on and off the internet. You know, it's not just a YouTube thing. And you are now effectively interacting with the content's creator in real life. Like, you are actively interacting with Sega. You might be influencing the brand and its future, but you're also sitting on YouTube bitching about it and the people who's making it. And I felt that that was hypocritical, you know? How can you be in bed with Sega and sucking up to their asshole while sitting here doing Game Grumps trashing Sonic? Hey, I haven't ranted about him in a long time. And like I said, I haven't been to bed yet. Usually I'd be asleep at this time of day. So I'm very talkative because I'm that level of like sleepy high where I should have been in bed hours ago. So I'm getting like sleepy loopy. So I'm kind of shooting off at the mouth, but it's fine. Let's see. He had it coming. And I get it. Like, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic's games aren't exactly perfect, you know? To this day, I still think Sonic 06 is the worst game I've ever attempted to play in my entire life. But, I'm not doing what he's doing. How the hell is this Geodude not fainted yet? We haven't even got, oh my god. I haven't even got inside the cave yet. Okay. Yeah, I think it's finally starting to catch up to me. I'm starting to get real tired. So we'll go in. Should we save before the cave and call it a day, or should we go in there and save Professor, what was his name? Cosmo? Professor Cosmo Kramer? We'll go in and save Cosmo and then call it a day? Or should we save that for tomorrow? I'm not sure what to do. Stay before the cave. All right. He's fine. We come back tomorrow. He's just a skeleton in there. Another Machop. Okay. You know what we need to do? We need to build a hideout. I mean, we're not going to work on it today, but it is something we need to do. Oh, everybody can learn Secret. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Who should learn it? You. We have to be careful though, it's not an HM. Once we use it, it's gone. Well, it's done. We'll pick a better location, but this will do for now, just to... I love the secret bases. I wish they'd come back. Ooh, that or camping. Ooh, it'd be real fun if we could camp, and I don't mean doing the picnic thing like a Scarlet and Violet. Wouldn't it be real neat if we could like just camp out with our Pokemon somewhere in the game? Like, they should bring that back. I love the secret base stuff. I miss it. I still think that I should try, even if we don't fully finish, I think we should try the contest stuff. Largely because I've never shot all the way through the contest stuff before. Like, I played this game 100 times over the years. I played Alpha Sapphire 100 times over the years, and I never finished the contest stuff. So that's something I'd like to do after we beat the Pokemon League, is I'd like to come back in and play around with the contest stuff. It'll be a new experience for me, so that'll be fun. And I mean, that sounded sarcastic. No, I legitimately think that'll be fun. Alright. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. If you weren't here, I would have just been a crazy lunatic ranting to himself. Instead, I was a crazy lunatic ranting to one person. Alright. I'll be back this evening sometime later with more Federation Force. See ya.